Hey guys, Matt here from TechRate Reviews, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Henge Docks metal vertical docking station for the 13-inch MacBook Pro. However, they also do sell it for the MacBook Air and the larger 15-inch MacBook Pro if you have either of those devices. Before I get started, I just want to give a big thanks to Henge Docks for sending a review unit out to me. On the outside of the dock, you have a really nice metal exterior that basically matches the color of the Macs exactly. It looks like an accessory Apple would design, which works really well if the rest of your setup is also Apple accessories, such as the Magic Mouse and Apple wireless keyboard. One of the best things about this dock is how little space it takes up. As you can see, the base is really narrow. It's only about 6 inches wide, and the rest is less than an inch thick, so it can fit in a really small space and it just will fit really nicely on any desk. Although it is small, the base is made very well, and it also weighs a lot, so you don't have to worry about your Mac being knocked over. Henge makes the setup of this dock really easy because when you get it, all of the pass-through cables are already wired through the docks, so all you have to do is add in the MagSafe adapter with the included tool, and that only takes a couple of minutes. However, it's important to keep in mind these are only pass-through cables, so if you're planning to connect your computer to anything, you will need to provide your own cables, and this can actually add up the cost really quickly if you start buying things like USB hubs, audio cables, speakers, and monitors, unless you already have all of those. But if you're going into this without any prior desktop setup, this could cost you well over $500 in addition to the cost of your computer. The accessories I recommend getting the most is a powered USB 3.0 hub, as the Henge dock only provides one USB pass-through cable, and it comes out the back of the dock, so it's most likely going to be really hard to reach. And I also recommend getting a pair of external speakers, as when the Mac is closed and put away in the dock, they sound very tinny and the sound quality just isn't nearly as good as what you'd get if you bought something like the Cyberacoustics 3A602 speakers or another pair of speakers for even just $20 or $30. I also recommend getting an aux cable, as otherwise you're going to have to rely on HDMI audio, and most monitors have really hard to use volume controls, and it's just a lot less convenient than using the keyboard or settings within your Mac. Additionally, the display output from the dock is a mini display port, but if you use that, you're going to have to buy an HDMI adapter and then an HDMI cable. But on Amazon for around $10, you can buy a mini DisplayPort 2 HDMI cable. Getting rid of the adapter, that will save you at least $10. Finally, if you don't like the look of all these cables coming out of the back of the dock, getting something like a cable zipper will group all the cables together and make the dock look a lot more clean and also just more organized on your desk. Functionality wise, I found this dock to be really great. First off, it saves a ton of space compared to some of the other horizontal docking stations, or simply having your computer on the desk and connecting all of the cables manually. And if you choose that option, you also have to waste a lot of time plugging in 4 or 5 cables every single time. Of course, you could get a Thunderbolt dock, which would allow you to just plug in a single Thunderbolt cable and get basically the same functionality, but on Amazon, most of those cost at least $300, and this dock only costs around $100 to $130. The one problem I do have with this dock is that sometimes the mini DisplayPort doesn't really make a good connection with the computer, and I end up having to take the computer in and out of the dock a couple times to get it to work perfectly, but most of the time it does work very well, and when it does, it's really convenient. Other than that, the dock really works as you'd expect. It has vents on the bottom to prevent the computer from overheating if you're doing something like video editing, like I often do, and it still leaves the SD card, HDMI, and a single USB port available on the top if you don't like to use adapters, so that will easily let you import footage without requiring an external SD card reader, which is a feature I have been using a ton. The dock also charges your computer while it's in use, which is really convenient, except when you want to use and charge your computer somewhere else, as taking the cable out is really inconvenient and will take you at least 3 or 4 minutes every single time you want to do it. So if you plan on traveling a lot, I do recommend getting another MagSafe charger. Unfortunately, these are really expensive and will further drive up the cost of owning the dock. Overall, I do recommend getting this dock if you have a Mac laptop but not a dedicated desktop setup, and it is a lot more compact and well put together than other docks. Although there is the problem with mini DisplayPort, most of the time it does work and saves you the hassle of constantly plugging and unplugging cables. It is important though to keep in mind that if you don't have any of the things required to make a setup such as a monitor or all of the cables and speakers, the cost can easily get up to well over $500 plus the cost of the computer, making it a very expensive setup. But if you're just replacing an old computer or have a monitor laying around, it's a great value and will only cost $100 to $200. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below, and also leave any questions or comments you might have. I'll try and respond to them as soon as possible. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel as I hope to be uploading a lot more videos very soon.